get on? Welcome back to the channel. This is episode 6 of the Cardio Build Diary. Hope you all enjoyed the last one. I've had a few people message me asking me about the tool I used in the last video, and I've since added the link to the bottom of the description in case anyone else needs to grab it. Not sure how long that link will last, but it's there at the minute. Last episode I said I was going to start doing more stuff under the arches. Turns out I bought some different parts, so this time we're going to be taking the car apart again to put the water pump on, and everything else that goes in the aux spout as well. So let's give it a go. So we are new parts. First off, brand new part, water pump. Same brand as what I used for the front wheel bearings. Decent enough quality for the money I'm paying, so I'm happy with that. And it's a metal impeller, so there's no chance of that disintegrating and getting stuck in the water galleries like the plastic ones. Seems to be decent enough. Comes with a new O-ring. And I bought these separately because I made a complete mess of the old water pump pulley when I took it off. Here's the new one, straight from Lithuania. But it's a genuine part, so pleased with that. Again, I'll put a picture up of how that all looked when it came off, and you'll see why I'm not using the same parts. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I did this some time ago. It's seen better days. It's covered in dust now, but it is been refurbished. It's got new bearings in, etc. However, the thread is causing me problems on the end of that. So that's going to need addressing. There's the pulley to go with it, and here's the water pump. It's just been degreased and cleaned up, and the pulleys have the same treatment. So that's ready to go back together and go back on the car. So first job is take the front end off and get access to where we've got to be. So that's what we're going to do next. Easily done. It was only held together with a few bolts. It's not all together properly yet. You can see the manifold's only resting in place. Until I've got this thing ready to go, I'm not going to bolt everything down until I know it's not coming apart again. I've also ordered some M8 by 20 flange nuts, similar to what I've got the tensioner on with, just so it all matches, because I'm a bit of a tart like that. So next is to jack the engine up so I can actually get a socket into where the water pump is. So let's do that. new water pump all on. Pleased with that. It was really straightforward. Nice to use some new parts for a change, new bolts and everything. Just gave the block a bit of a clean up where the faces mount, just because you don't want anything leaking out of it. Water pump's quite important to these engines, they run quite hot. So next job, I fear, is not going to be quite as straightforward, and that is the alternator. So let's get on with that. So here's the alternator. As mentioned, it has been taken apart, new bearings in, so it's nice and silky smooth to use. However, I put it on the car, and I didn't put this little guy on, which is the nut that holds the pulley in place. I don't know why, just being stupid I guess. And as you can see, I don't think the camera picked that up, but the threads are now completely shagged. So I'm going to have to, well, first plan is to try and clean them up. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to try and retap it. I don't even know what thread diameter it is, so that's going to be the first job, is actually work out what thread pitch and diameter it is, and see if we can clean that up enough to get that on there. Well, that on there, and then that on there. So yeah, wish me luck. So next step is to take the power off the edge to allow the nut to go on. The actual thread itself is looking pretty good though, and he's worked his magic on it. Good going. Looks like it's getting easier. There we are. Happy days. Job done. There we are. You gonna smile? There we are. Alternator's all back together, all done. Nuts on the inside there, so the threads worked a treat. So all back together. Last little tip from Andrew at the VW garage is these little inserts here. I don't know if you can see them. The bolt goes through there, and there's a thing in the middle. And when it's done up tight, this moves back that way, and it can cause a bit of trouble when you're coming to refit it. So what he suggested is socket in the vise, put the alternator on it, squeeze it up, and it'll move just enough to make it easy to refit. So giving that a go. Let's get it back in the car. There we go, alternator's back on, job done. Painted the bolts up, and I've also changed the hardware that holds the brackets on because that was looking a bit tired and I had those kicking about. I put the tensioner back on now. I won't film that because you've already seen me doing that once. And then the next job you're going to see me doing is sorting this out, which is the power steering pump. There, power steering pump all ready to go back on the car. Cleaned this up quite a while ago, as mentioned earlier. Just retouched the pump just to make sure it's all good to go. New hardware, had to get these because again the other ones had rounded off and were no good to go back on the car. They're actually the same as the water pump ones. Not sure if they're meant to be the same, but I ordered the same because they will do the same job. I can't remember what hardware I used to put the pump on the bracket, but I've got these, they should work. If not, I'll find something else. So let's get it back on the car. There we are, that's the power steering all buttoned up, all the lines are in place, a few clips and stuff missing, but I'll sort that out in a minute. So alternator's done, tension is on, so the next job is to fit this guy, which is a Miele fan belt, which is already been on the car, but it was pretty much brand new when I took it off, so it's the same one going back on because there's nothing wrong with it. And first thing I need to do is to take the tension off the tensioner, and I'll do that with this little bolt which will go in that hole. Take the tensioner off, slip the belt on, take the bolt out, should be job done. So let's get on with it. So there we are, all done, belt's back on. Bit of a faff of a job, but came out alright in the end. Tension's doing its job, lovely tension on the belt, so all good. Eagle-eyed viewers may notice that the oil filter housing is already missing, taking that off. It's actually in a bucket somewhere, covered in oil, so I'm going to give that a bit of a clean up. Maybe change the sensors and the senders and stuff and put that back together. And I've also just taken off the starter motor, which wasn't there because it was looking like, well, it was looking terrible. So here it is, it's on the floor in bits. And I'm in two minds at the minute as to what to do with it, because obviously it's seen better days. The main problems being the earth strap has actually come off the back, is where all the brushes are that contact the motor, and that just fell apart. So I'm hoping I can get a replacement part of that and maybe put it back together. I will also have a look and see how much they are just to buy new, because the whole thing's looking pretty tired. But we'll see. Watch this space. That'll probably be the next episode now. So yeah, that's what I'm going to call it. Job done. So yeah, guys, I'm going to call it a day there. Really pleased with how far I've got with that. I'm glad the belt's back on, power steering pump's all done and everything. There was a few big jobs ticked off the list. I was a bit apprehensive about how I was going to do the alternator, so massive shout out to Len at VW Kingsway in Swansea. If you've got any Seat, Skoda, Audi, whatever needs, give him a shout. I'll leave his link to his website in the description. I'm sure he'll sort you out. Next job is probably going to be the oil filter housing, give that a bit of TLC, and also I'll have a plan by next episode of what to do with the starter motor. At the minute I'm a bit, do I replace it or not, but we'll soon come up with something. I've also got a few bits and pieces to go under the arches in order to get the brakes on, so that may be what I do next, but we'll see. Watch this space. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers and gone.